Hello, ladies. I am
Hello.
back, Pajama Granny with her little sister.
Hi,
And I just
everybody.
thought, hello, you know, the main holidays are upon us. Of course, I have my Christmas jammies on, but holidays could be uh, Easter, 4th of July, birthday parties,
Yes.
of course, Thanksgiving, Christmas, all those holidays that we, or most of us, seem to either host or go to family functions. I think I'm keeping this more towards family because friends, I think, are easier to get out of going to those parties than family. I'm not sure, and
Yeah.
sometimes our friends are our family. So
Right.
you know, I don't know. You can chime in there, Kelly, but I'm thinking of the family functions. And even as a kid, how many of us did not like going to family functions? And as a kid, we went because our parents took us, and that's just what we did. But
hmm
that negativeness, that bitterness of being a kid, to me, falls through your young adult. So as a young adult, you still go because you're respecting your elders and you're going. And then you start having children and you're taking those children to the family functions and subjecting them to what you don't like. And even if you don't say anything, kids are smart. They feel
hmm
it. They know that you don't want to be there. So then you're reflecting that and you're starting another generation of the bitterness going to holiday functions. And to me, birthday parties, I include those in holiday functions because there are big family birthday parties that people have that you wish you didn't have to go to. So, Christmas seems to be a holly jolly uh, time of the year. People are spending money that they shouldn't, that they don't have. They're going into debt. I'm just speaking of myself from the past. I cut all that out. I'm not the Grinch, but it's like I'm not going above and beyond to buy something for a person that I'm never going to see for another year. Uh, or that I feel that they don't even like me, or they may
hmm
like me because I'm family, or they love me because I'm family, but they don't like what I'm doing. I don't know. There's so many things about it. But I thought when I was thinking of this, I thought, oh, Kelly knows her Bible verses. I wonder what Bible verses that maybe are even your favorite or that you go to, but not just to get you through Christmas or any holidays, just life,
Yeah.
because life is bitter and I'm stuck on this bitter, I guess.
We're on a bitter roll this
I
month.
know. I don't know what
But
other word to use, but
I know, and we want to approach it in a lighthearted manner. We want to um, I don't know, take the edge off of it and turn bitter into better. And um, Deb and I, we talk about better over bitter. And we're going to do some t-shirts on this coming in
okay.
2025. We got to have, better over bitter. That's kind of like our mantra, or at least mine. Um, but yeah, I have, I just call it life verses. And, you maybe have used that terminology too, but they're life verses to me that whenever I'm in a situation where I just don't know what to do. I don't know how to handle the person or the circumstance. And so my go to Bible verse is Jeremiah 32:27. And that one says, behold, I am the Lord, the God of all flesh. Is there anything too hard for me? And of course, the answer is no, there's not. And so that verse ministers to my heart in really in every single situation. Um, this verse
Kelly,
is a great. What,
Tell me
Deb?
that one again.
Oh, sure.
Jeremiah
32,
or 32,
27.
27. Okay.
27. Yep. And we'll make sure that that reference is in the um, description of this
Sure.
video. But anywho, yeah, it's just it's a great reminder that God can handle any issue, any problem, any person, any circumstance. Nothing is too hard for him, no matter what. So that's like my number one go-to verse. And then, as a believer, uh, Philippians 1:6 is that verse. I have it right here where it says, let me find it again. Oh, okay. Well, I just lost it. He who has begun a good work in you will complete it until the day of Jesus Christ. If we start to see people in light of Christ and what Christ can do in the life of that person, we're no different than that person. The Lord is working on us too. So, Jesus Christ, who began a good work in me and in you, he will be faithful to complete that work until he comes back or until he takes us home. And it doesn't say he might, it says he will. And so for me, I have to keep reminding myself that I'm a work in progress and this person is a work in progress. And, you know, I might think, Lord, you're not working that fast on this person, but it's God's timing. It's not my timing. And so I just think I need to pray for that person. I need to pray for myself that I will have patience with that person as hard as it will be. And if I cannot pray for that person because maybe I'm just, really hurt by them or just so annoyed with them that my prayers may not, be heard at the moment because my attitude is bad, I would ask
Mhm.
somebody else close to me to pray, specifically for whatever the issue is that I was having with that person. Let somebody else intercede for you. And remember
That's
too
a
that
good idea.
Jesus is our intercessor. So he also is praying and interceding for us um, when we can't or when we don't feel it, when we don't want to pray. Because if you're having difficulties with a person who, you might not be the best person to be praying for them. I would say pray for yourself first and your attitude before you pray for that person. It's kind of like the verse that talks about you have a plank in your own eye,
Oh, yes.
that one, and that person just has a little speck in his eye or her eye. uh,
Right.
you need to deal with you first and your attitude and what you're doing, what your sin is, before you try to, you know, deal or change that person or even try to give them advice, I guess. I hope that
That's a
makes sense.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, and let someone else. You don't have to tell someone else the situation. You, I guess, would just
Yeah.
say, "Hey, I'm going to this family function, and there's somebody there that I can't seem to handle. Can you pray for me?" I like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. And
Something
it
like
too,
that.
it gives you peace of mind knowing, okay, I've got a prayer warrior, just praying for the situation. And God's got this because he really does. He really does have it.
Right.
And
Right.
you know, and then I know it can be something that we get tired of hearing, but it's really true. We are to be thankful in everything, in everything give thanks. For this is the will of God in Christ concerning you, concerning us, all of us. And yeah, we need to have an attitude of gratitude. We had mentioned in a previous podcast, Deb, that um, I just lost my train of thought. What did
Well,
we
I'm
talk
writing down
about?
attitude, gratitude. I like that one.
Okay, yeah.
Attitude, gratitude.
Well, the thought will come back to me, so I'll just move forward. I'm having a senior moment here.
I was gonna
Um,
say, you're getting old.
I'm getting, yeah, I'm getting, in fact, I just had a birthday. I'm getting old. Um,
So are you suggesting that I'm curious. I'd like our other our community that I call them, our family on YouTube.
yeah.
Uh, how are you dealing with the holidays? What do you do? Kelly, are you suggesting that we suck it up and go and find a way to be at this function? And yeah, I guess if my attitude was nice and cheery, and if that other person wants to be Scrooge, nothing against Scrooge,
Hmm.
so be it. I'm not going to
Right.
let, or do you have a family member? Some parties, you have one that likes to hit the booze, and makes a fool of themselves, and you're subject to that.
Right. And you don't want to subject your kids to that kind of
Right. Or
stuff.
your grandkids. Right.
Yeah. You
So
know,
what? Go ahead.
yeah. No, I get this is all good. There's so much that we could say. I have some pointers that I'll mention, but really, it is on an individual level, case by case, like what is exactly your circumstance? How bad is it really for you if you do go? How miserable will you really be? Um, we have no control over other people's actions, words, and behavior, but we do have boundaries, and I think that's a big one, is set some boundaries. What are you willing to put up with or subject your children to me personally, it's just my personal thought. If alcohol is involved, I don't want to be there, and I don't want my kids to be there, and I have just, and Deborah, you know we had a family member who we lost from alcohol. And it's so, to me, alcohol is just not something I want to really be around. And that's just a personal choice. Other people love that stuff, and the more the better, they think. And great, if that's what you like, then that's for you. But anyway, yeah, um, I I like to bring a project, like, I crochet, I make like little hats and scarves and socks and little dish scrubbies. So
Oh yeah.
I'll bring some yarn, I'll bring a crochet hook or some knitting needles, and to me it's a little bit of a distraction. It can also be a conversation starter. Like one year I got to show my she was brand new sister-in-law, so I got to show her, a little bit of how to do some stitches, and
Oh,
that was kind of fun. Um, so yeah, I'll bring some kind of a small, easy project that if I get interrupted with conversation, then I can stop my little project and I can chat with whoever. And then they usually say, like, what are you working on? And then, oh, pair of socks for my sister, something like
right.
that. Um, I even kind of thought, if you are allowed to bring a guest, somebody new to the family, friend, that can also be a distraction to where maybe family members would, they just kind of tend to maybe be on their better behavior. Um, you know, I don't know what you think about that, Deb, but um,
Well, there's always people out there. That's kind of a nice, kind of a good thing. there's always people out there that don't have families
Right.
that would like to go to a function. So I'm not saying, a stranger, although
Right. Right.
um, like at Thanksgiving time, if you're in the military community, you can sign up and have military people come to your house, the single guys come to your
Yeah.
house
I think that's
and
great.
host for them. And that's a lot of fun. So that's that, they are kind of strangers. But yeah, we all have coworkers or even, church family members that
Mhm.
may be alone that year. So
Right.
you could always ask the host, hey, I'm going to bring so and so. And um, I can always remember our mom would always have gifts in the bedroom
Yeah.
wrapped, marked what they were, that were unisex, because from being a teenager all the way up, we would always end up bringing somebody,
Yeah.
um, either a boyfriend or girlfriend that was brand new, or
Yeah.
just somebody that we met. And she would always have something there for them so that they didn't, they could have something to unwrap with all of us. So
Yes.
that's a good idea, that
Yeah.
find somebody to bring that, maybe they are a good friend of yours, but they just happen to be alone that year. So you're
Yeah.
taking them, and,
Yeah.
you can have your conversations with them, and maybe, yeah, the family would uh, not, whoever was in your face may not be in your face that a holiday for whatever, if
Right.
you're with somebody. That's a good idea. And then that's sharing the love and the
Yeah.
blessing to somebody that, you know, couldn't.
Hmm.
I did know somebody that didn't have family around, and she would always say every holiday, I'm so grateful because I have to listen to you guys tell us how horrible your families
Oh.
are. I'm grateful I don't have my family close by, that I have to go to these
Oh
functions and then
gosh.
tell you guys all about it afterwards. So
Oh
it's
my
like,
goodness.
oh, not all families are bad, but
Funny.
and if you have great times and you enjoy it,
Oh,
go. I'm not,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
it's like, when do you come to the point where, okay, it's my holiday too. Am I being too selfish by declining wanting to go to the function? Or, like you said, suck it up, it's only for, a few hours or whatever. And
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, if you're being physically or verbally abused in front of everybody, that's different.
Yeah.
That's not
Yeah.
sucking it up. And I'm not saying that, but
No.
I'm talking to my own self. How can I tolerate this person for 2 hours, or
Right.
3 hours or half a day or whatever?
Right.
Um, and not worry about it, not let it get my holiday, you know. Now, if it's my birthday and they show up, that's different. So,
It's my birthday. I'm going to do what I want.
yeah, and I'll cry if I want to.
That's right. Well, too,
So I
you mentioned, like a couple of hours or so, 3 hours. You can always set that limit. You can always say, hey, I'm going to be there, but I can only stay an hour, or I can only stay an hour and a half. And, you know, and just have some boundaries and stick to them. And then that way, too,
true.
you just know you have an out if you need to take.
Right,
And you can always, if you're really having a good time, then of course you can always stay longer and, but yeah, I would limit
right.
the amount of time, you know, if you need to.
Yeah,
So
right,
yeah,
right.
yeah. I don't know. I just,
So what do you do if you're the hostess or the
oh, that.
host, and this person comes first and leaves last?
I know. Wants to stay the night, wants to stay a few
Yeah.
days. They're coming from another state, and it's like, you're gonna
Uh-huh.
host them for several days. Oh my, yeah. That's when you go back to, is there anything too hard for the Lord? No, there's not. And you just keep praying and praying. But stuff like that though, like definitely try to make some activity plans if at all possible to,
Oh,
maybe involve them in, okay, well, today's the family gathering and tomorrow we want to take you to, um, I don't know, a zoo or something. It just depends on the age of the person
right,
and all of
right.
that. Like, but maybe you can find some kind of activity to do that would interest them. And I don't know, those are some tough ones. I feel
Balancing the ups and downs of the holidays. I just,
yeah,
that's what this is
it's a
going to be
hot topic.
titled.
Well, my prayer for everybody is that they do not have situations where it's too bad. Hopefully it's good if we can focus on the reason, especially Christmas time. The reason for this season is Jesus. Jesus is the
True.
gift. And we
Right.
need to we need to remember that. And
True.
yeah. And we ourselves can be a positive person. Um, it starts with us, if
Right.
the
Right.
other person doesn't get it and they want to be negative or whatever, withdrawn, I'll use that word. If they want to be withdrawn, that's their choice.
True.
So,
Yeah. And I guess there's plenty of people you can move on, carry your glass of wine to the next person.
yeah, yes, for sure, for sure.
Uh,
And
all right.
you could always say no. You can always say, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I've already
Yeah.
committed. I've already committed to something else. And you don't have to tell them what. But yeah, you can just gracefully back out, thank them for the invite, and don't go.
Right.
No, that's
Right.
always an option. But like you
True.
said, if you're the hostess, then maybe that's a good time to say to the family, I was thinking it'd be nice if someone else held it next year, and maybe somebody would step up to the
Step
table and
up.
take it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
True. True. All right. Well, thanks
So,
for the Bible verses. I will get those
sure,
posted. I know those are verses not just for the holidays for you, it sounds like, but
every
just
day.
every day, which is what we need
Yep,
because, if you get that mindset before the holidays, I guess we would be better off too.
yes.
So, all right, ladies, balancing the ups and downs of the holidays, no matter which holiday it is. Thanks, Sister Kelly, for being here and
Thank
for your
you.
input. And ladies, remember pajamagranny@gmail.com. Send me what you do, share what you do and how you handle it. Be nice. Okay.
Yeah.
'Cause I don't.
All right.
All
Well, take
right.
care. Good to see you. We'll talk
You too.
soon.
Okay.
Bye.
Signing off. Bye. Okay. Shows that it went away on mine.